Yes guys, it's Jando. Today I'm going to show you how I made the bass from my track Trigger Finger. This is like a proper sick little jump up bass. It's not too difficult of a patch. There's a few extra bits and bobs that we do in there that I don't normally do with my patches, so it'd be interesting to show you these few different techniques that I've been testing out recently. But yeah, let's get straight into it. This is what the patch sounds like. Yeah, let's jump straight into how I made it.
Yo, shut up, lad. Man's gonna shank you and that.
So opening up a fresh serum patch here, we're going to go ahead, we're going to turn on the sub, the oscillator A and oscillator B. We're going to take the level all the way down on oscillator A, and we're going to take the level down on oscillator B to about 10%. And on the sub, we're going to leave the level all the way up, but we're going to drop the octave -3, and we're also going to do this triangle wave here. You're also going to want to click direct out. On oscillator A, we're going to do -3 octaves, and then on oscillator B, we're going to do +7 semitones. We're going to turn on FM from sub, and we're going to turn the random down on both oscillators. Next, we're going to choose our wavetable position. So for oscillator A, we're going to go down to digital, down to who, and then on oscillator B, we're going to go over to basic shapes and this sine wave here. For the wavetable position, we're going to go with 72, and we're going to leave it as is on here, and then we're going to take out LFO1 and we're going to modulate the level of oscillator B. After that, we're going to create our LFO, so we're going to go trigger, we're going to turn on dot, and we're going to do 1/4 dot. And this is the shape that we're going to make here. So this is what it should sound like so far. Next, we're going to turn on our filter, we're going to go down to flanges, and we're going to do CMB+. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take one of these mod macros and apply it to the cutoff there. We're going to pull this back to about 57, and then we're going to pull the cutoff down slightly, about there. And then we're going to flick on the key track and oscillator B for the filter. We're going to have this sitting at about 900. We're going to push the res up slightly to about 20, well, we'll go 20%, and then we're going to push the drive slightly as well to about 20 to 25%. After that, we're going to take the same mod macro and we're going to apply it to the FM sub here, and we're going to apply that at 25%. And then we're going to push this up to about 52%. Next, we're going to do another mod macro, and this time we're going to do it on oscillator B, and we're going to do FM from A. We're going to push this up to about 52% again, and then we're going to assign this to there. That should be the sound we have so far. After that, we're going to assign LFO1 again. We're going to modulate the drive and the level here. And then we're going to head over to our FX tab. Once we're in the FX tab, we're going to do delay to the top, distortion underneath that. Then we're going to do phaser underneath that one, filter, compressor, EQ, So for the delay, we're going to put the feedback at about 15%, and we're going to change this to link, and then we're going to do this at 6.01 on both sides. On here, we're going to do 2503, and on this one, we're going to leave as is on 6.8. We're going to push the mix all the way up as well. Next, on the distortion, we're going to push the distortion up to about 70%, and then we're going to apply LFO to that. We're also going to go down here to post. We're going to set this to 4520, and we're going to set this one to 0.1. Next, for the phaser, we're going to pull the rate all the way down, depth down. We're going to pull the frequency down slightly, probably to about 100 Hertz. B is going to go to 0, the phase is going to stay as is, and then we're going to pull the mix to about 40%. Next, for the filter, we're going to go down to flanges, and we're going to do PHS 36+. We're going to push the cutoff up to about 1000 Hertz here, the res all the way down. We're going to boost the drive slightly to about 15%, and leave the rest as is. Now for the compressor, we're going to leave the threshold ratio attack as is. We're going to push the release all the way up, and then we're going to gain stage slightly, probably to about 13ish%. And then we're going to switch on the multiband as well. So for this one, we're going to leave these two at 100 and pull this one down to 0. Heading over to the EQ, we're going to do a low cut on here and a high cut on this one. We're going to push the freak up a bit to about 900 Hertz. Pull the Q back slightly, probably to about 40 odd%. Leave the gain as is. We're going to push the freak up. We're going to pull the Q back again as well, probably to about 45%. And the gain is going to stay as is as well. After we're done with that, we're going to head back over to the oscillator, and we're going to switch here. So where it says mix, we're just going to click this onto level. And that now gives us that sound. And now it's time for the post-processing, which isn't too much. We've just got a FabFilter Pro R here, if you want to copy the settings. We've got a tail reverb. This tail reverb is just doing, we've got some automation on it, so bass plays, it swoops back in. We've got an EQ on there just rolling off that low end, so we can layer a sub, and then we're just compressing that as well. And that is it for the bass. It's a pretty tricky bass inside of Serum. There's a lot going on to get the sound, but that just makes it more fun, and it makes it more ideal for basses, to be honest, because you've got so much possibility for variation, which is really good. There's so many things on here that you can change very, very slightly, and it changes the sound of the bass entirely, which is super cool. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, all of that jazz. Yeah, nice one.